All right, everybody. We are on the Chronicles of a Black
Dang.
Sheep tonight, and we are talking about Derrick Jaxson, and the other male relationship gurus. So tonight we have Honey Daniels on the line. We have Anthony Dunaway, and we have Duriel Randolph. So who wants to open up tonight?
We'll let Duriel because he got some good intros.
Yeah, he ready to he like hearing that burning up stuff. We're gonna see the fire department coming.
Oh no, I had to check on it because it got my house smelling good. So y'all want me to start? So my question is,
you was voted.
So check it out. So my stance when it comes to Dexter Jaxson is this: he is just a person, an opportunist who took advantage of individuals at a certain time. Now they mad because they butt hurt because they believe in a fairy tale. I shouldn't even say fairy tale. They believe what he was saying. And right now they're mad because his dirt.
They mad because they mad because they believe the dream that they were being sold. That's why they mad.
So, that's the case, then who they should really be mad at? Not him. They should be mad at themselves.
Facts. I agree.
And then truthfully, I can't trust a man who smacks every fucking day. That's just me. I really can't.
I haven't really seen his videos to be able to comment on it.
I had a couple friends send it to me. I'm like, damn, dog, you must ate something good because you smacking hard. But again, it's like I got so many thoughts on that, and when it comes to that, I don't want to monopolize everything. Plus, my food cooking, so I'll be back.
Okay, good.
Okay, so again, like I said before, I feel like his audience, I think he capitalized on his audience. Like Duriel was saying, he's an opportunist. He knew when you go on social media, you see women all day long posting about they man this, they in this type of relationship, they butt hurt, but they still follow their same formula when it comes to dating men, whether it's worked or not. And clearly it's not worked. So here comes this man who is in appearance an attractive chocolate, because you know bitches like chocolate, nice looking man, black man, married to a black woman, and he is basically telling them everything they want to hear.
But people did not know that Derrick Jaxson was married until this came out.
That's true.
Because he never was out there as he was single, but giving game to the other single women so they can stop being played.
You're right.
So people didn't know he was married till recently.
You're right. They did not know that. But yeah, he appealed to a particular type of audience is what I'm trying to say. Because you can't take a female that's, first of all, if they're single by choice, if they have high standards, if they're not willing to settle, certain type of females have high standards. And regardless of what Derrick Jaxson was saying, they would have took it with a grain of salt. I don't think they would have, believed every single word out his mouth and held on to it and latched on and say, okay, I need this. And then fast forward, be butt hurt when he turned around not to be the person that they thought he was. A strong-minded, female would have taken what he said with a grain of salt again, but wouldn't be in their feelings because, oh, he lied, he doing this, he didn't say all this stuff, and he ain't who he said he was. I'm sure a different type of camera woman peeped game a long time ago. They may have saw his videos, said, okay, he got a point or two, but why does he have so much knowledge, and why does he phrase things the way he do? Why does he use the analogies the way he that he used? And I'm just basing off the little excerpts of videos that I've seen. Because again, I don't follow him. I didn't know who this man was prior to this incident coming out. Again, I don't follow people with, especially men, with relationship advice. So I didn't know who he was, but just based on what I saw. That's what I gathered from it.
Okay.
He just capitalized. He's an opportunist, and he took full advantage of women in a certain mental state, I think.
Okay.
Okay, so look at this. You single?
Yes, I am. Yes, okay. I am. Single as hell.
You seen his videos.
Mm-hmm.
And what was your thought? Because you didn't fall into that bucket. You didn't fall into that pocket.
Okay,
and you ain't out here butt hurt because he ain't who you know he was.
No, I'm not. I'm kind of amused, but I'm not butt hurt. So this is my thing with Derrick Jaxson. Probably in the beginning, I would, if it came down my timeline, I may listen or hear what he have to say. But I didn't jump on that train. You know that what they would say, you smell that? You could smell what Derrick was cooking, like real talk.
Bullshit.
At the same time, one of the things that turned me off about Derrick Jaxson was the way that they always talk about he uplifts women. But there was an email, a messenger actually to be exact, that he went in on this female. He called this chick everything but a child of God. And she posted it. And I'm like, wow, how are you uplifting women? But you just ate this chick. I mean, you just ate this chick for lunch and dinner. Like you just straight dogged her. That was a turnoff for me. So like, it wasn't no more Derrick Jaxson. I didn't see him come down my timeline anymore. I would see maybe like he was selling a book, or I think he came out with a game. But there are some things where you can smell shit before it get to you. And he was that shit. Like you can peep game when somebody trying to sell you something, like they used to come around back in the day. What was it? The Kirby vacuum cleaners. And that damn vacuum cleaner was what, about $2,000? Yeah, you can kind of smell stuff. And when people run in game, granted, I do agree with you as well as Duriel that, he hit the side of the weakness where women are, as far as dating now and these dudes, because woo, the dude.
This is what I don't want this to be like a tear down segment about him, because let me tell you what I liked about him. Now again, before this hit, I didn't know who this man was. So after the fact, I went and watched excerpts, and I'm gonna say that because I've never watched the whole video. But what I liked about him, and probably other men do the same thing, is that he was very smart. He was very manipulative when it came to what he said and how he said it. Because I date women, I know exactly how women are. We are very emotional creatures, and we play on words. If you give us just enough, we'll take it and we'll hold on to that. If you tell us what we want to hear, when I say us, I don't mean me. I just mean females. If you tell us what we want to hear, we're going to take that and we're going to hold on to it. He basically took what he know women wanted to hear and gave them, he just put that shit on the platform. And he monopolized on it. He capitalized on it. He was an opportunist. And I'm mad that he was able to do it and make money, because I ain't make no damn money. They want to hear all the time. What you say?
Same shit Steve Harvey did. That's the same shit all the folks before him did. Like, it's not, and that's the crazy part about it. It's not like it's damn that shit good. Woo. It's not like it's something new.
Right.
That's the thing. Like the method of what he did is nothing new. I mean,
but he rapped it differently. He rapped it differently.
Again, Steve Harvey did the same thing. He put it in the book. He
did.
Steve Harvey did it a different way, the same way but different, because he already had that platform. So
that's what I'm saying. It's been out there for a long time, and it has. Derrick Jaxson wrapped up the same thing Steve Harvey and everybody before him has done. Steve Harvey put it in the book, and he made it, and then Derrick Jaxson came through, and he put it in his appearance and his words, verbalized it.
I think
later
well,
on,
I say how he did it. He did it because he was a plain ordinary individual. They looked at him like a plain ordinary individual versus Steve Harvey and the rest of them, Dr. Ruth and all that. I went over for him, but all them folks. So, but if that's his hustle, that's his hustle. But my thing is
keyword hustle.
Right, he hustled the shit out of it too.
A hustle, a definite hustle.
My
thing, you can't be one side, especially when it comes to relationship. You cannot be one side. You cannot be.
He was one sided because he downplayed the men his entire every video. Well, the ones that I saw, like I only saw like 3, but he always dogged the men out and said, you don't need to deal with this type of brother. You don't need to do with this. If he doing this, he this type of brother. He always seemed to be very negative when it came to the male perspective or what they did, rather.
And that's why I could appreciate Kevin Samuels, because his ass is an equal opportunity. He talk to men bad. He talk to women bad. He tell them just like it is. It don't matter if you gay, straight.
I don't think he tell it just like it is. That is his personal opinion. I heard him tell this female because she was 5'8", and I think she wore, I'm not sure what size she wore, but she said she broke the rule because visually she's not what men want to see. No, visually that's not what the fuck he want to see. Cause I already think this nigga looks, we family. I already think he both ways any motherfucking way.
What's that? So, then. Okay, I'm glad
you said
that. You said that.
Here we go. Here we go.
Oh, check this out. She says she broke the mold for what men want to see, right?
Mm-hmm. That's what he said.
Which men?
Exactly. Oh. But he's speaking about all men. He's not breaking it down to
No, he's not. He's speaking on particular men, because I've listened, and I did this on purpose. When I first heard him, I was like, okay, he's spitting like he's kind of asshole. Then I went back and listened to a lot, like majority of the shit he's saying. What he's saying aligns with what they're asking. Like this is an example. A female came on there, a woman came on there. She made 6 figures. Had 2 kids, and she wanted a man to make 6 figures. And he asked her 3 questions, and it's the question that men ask ourselves when we see a female like that.
Okay.
How does she look?
Mm-hmm.
Let me rephrase that. Men who on that caliber that she's looking for.
Okay.
You can get a hood dude that don't give a damn how you look, but long as you bring home 6 figures, he's straight, because he gonna sit down, fuck you, eat up your food, eat up your kids' snacks and shit, and chill. But if a man brings something to the table, then he asks, how does she look? For one, when he asked her that, she said she was a 7 when she had makeup on, but she's a 5 without makeup. And he said,
what's the other questions?
Huh?
What are the other questions?
The second question, what does she bring to the table outside of sex and money? She couldn't answer that. She could not answer that. Outside of her looks, she couldn't answer it. Then he said the third question is, do you know the statistics of the type of person that you're looking for? She couldn't answer that either. And that's when he broke it down. Like, statistically, the guys that you're looking for are not looking for you. Outside of her. And what made that one stick to me, I went and looked, and I started looking at like my homeboys that were professional athletes. If they didn't have a girl before they went to the league or became professional or became 6-figure folk, nah, they weren't looking at the type of female she looked like. And that's the part that I'm like, I agree with him.
Okay.
And he's just saying that a lot of women are looking at above their pay grade. Now, I'm not saying you have a potential. No. And he's not saying that you don't have potential, but for what you're looking for, you have to work up to that. And these guys, and you see it every day. You see it every day. You turn on the TV. Do you see a multi-millionaire? Hell, I ain't even going for multi-millionaire. Somebody in the upper class with a mud dog. Do you see somebody in the upper class with a mud dog? No.
Okay, pause. An ugly man, I don't give a fuck how much money he make, can always get a nice looking woman. Always. Yeah. Reverse that. An ugly ass female, you will never see an ugly ass what the world view as an unattractive female with a nice looking man. That's not how our society is.
That's what I just said. That's not how our
society is. But no, you were saying about what she was looking for. I think it's kind of like apples and oranges. It may have some.
That's the same thing. If she looking for a diamond, she look like a dud. How the fuck she gonna get that dude? That's exactly what I said.
I thought, okay, but
that's what she was looking for.
Okay, so, but okay, with that being said, you have to know your number, okay? And like you said, she couldn't bring shit else to the table, or at least she couldn't on the spot tell him what she brought to the table.
Then I feel like if you can't do it on the spot, then goddamn it, you don't know. Cause that should be ingrained in you.
I bet. T, what you bring to the table? That's how them looks. What you bring to the table?
And I think everybody is different, because that will be something that somebody always hollering. What you bring to the table, what you bring to the table. I believe that everybody's table is different. Everybody don't want the same thing that everybody wants. So a guy may want a woman with 6 figures. And it may be a guy that say, I want a wife that can cook, clean my house, and take care of my kids. It depends on what that person wants at their table. Because you can bring some shit at the table and think that person gonna eat it. Bring a whole turkey meal, some dressing, and they be like, "Oh, I'm vegetarian. I don't eat that." So what you bring to the table might not be what they want to eat. So it depends what that person likes.
Okay, so pause that, T. So the woman was a 5, okay, and she wanted a man that was what? A 8, a 10?
She wanted a nice looking man. She wanted a nice looking man.
She said she wants somebody who was 6 foot, making 6 figures.
Okay, that's not impossible. But what does he look like?
Oh,
what does he look like?
But I see
nice looking white men.
Oh, what you say?
I see nice looking white men with 5s in any nationality.
Hey, you want to know why?
So 6 foot.
If we're gonna go down that road, we're gonna go down there.
I was gonna go there myself.
The only thing I'm trying to say is 6 feet with 6 figures is not impossible. It's not.
No, it's not.
That can be
no matter
what else?
Like.
What else she said?
That could be a 5 to Kevin, but to the guy that likes what he likes, that could be a whole 10.
Like I said, I gave you my example.
Okay, so what else you wanted?
I have yet to see somebody in the upper middle class to lower 10% population have a mud dog. Have somebody that's not. I'm not even gonna say a 5. I have yet to see one that has 6, 7, or 8. So that right there is saying. That's telling you
that women like money, and she don't give a fuck what this nigga look like as long as they got money. That's exactly what that's saying.
Yeah, men do the same thing. Men ain't finna. A man, I don't give a damn on what you say. If you don't look good on his motherfucking arm, he is not gonna fuck with you. Or he might call. He might call you at 4 o'clock in the morning after he done left the club with his homeboys and whatnot. Come over and get his rocks off, and then say, "I'll hit you up later."
Wow. So basically you're saying unattractive women basically are the 4 o'clock after club booty calls.
Of a man.
That's exactly what he's saying.
Damn.
Okay, so let's go back to what else she wanted. And he said that's unrealistic to her. So she wanted 6 feet, 6 figures. What else she said she wanted? I know she said she was a 5 without makeup. I just want females when they go onto his show, when they talk about, and they know when they go talk to him, he gonna put them on the spot and ask them some questions. If you a 5, stay in your face bracket. You can't be a 5 and want a fucking 8.
That's the whole man. Thank you. That's the whole point I'm saying. That's my whole point. Like you can't get mad at him for saying you can't jump. You can't jump like this ain't goddamn checkers. You can't jump over people. If you're a 5.
Okay, so in that incident, he did make a good point.
7. And that's my whole point.
But he don't always.
Yeah, he's an asshole. His delivery, yeah, he's an asshole.
I mean, he don't always. I don't think he always speak the truth though. I don't think he always speak true. I don't care about his delivery. No. I mean, that says nothing. I'm talking about the content. I'm talking about his content. He's not always speaking facts. I think he is giving more so opinion in a lot of the things. Now that scenario that you said, it kind of made sense. But in a lot of his videos, he's not like that. You know, his delivery is what it is. I can't knock this man because he's an asshole. Whether he,
and that's what I'm about to say. And then I guess I'm different because I don't look at. I take his shit for like entertainment, but I listen to some like if something pops out, then I'm like, okay, it makes sense.
He did a segment where he talked to this guy, and this guy wanted him a nice looking chick, whatever. He talked about his ass being, short. He was under 6 feet. Yeah, but he was fat. He was working a mediocre job. I'm talking like Walmart or somewhere like that. He didn't bring anything to the motherfucking table, and then he had a little dick.
Ooh.
He was like, and he was just because he asked him.
I saw that one too.
He said, the guy was
here's the thing though. Here's the funny part though. Here's the part that I find so funny. I would say maybe 5, maybe 10 years ago. Maybe 5, 10 years ago, a woman was saying that exact same shit. And y'all was like, preach it, girl, talk. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. If he ain't this, if he ain't that, yada, yada, yada. No, I'm not saying. I'm just saying female women were saying that shit. And I'm just like, now all of a sudden a man is saying that shit. It's a problem. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I didn't say it was a problem.
This is a problem. This is a problem.
The only thing that I dislike about Kevin Samuels, and it's not his delivery, it's not that he gets on there and talk about what he talks about, is that a lot of the things that he say are his opinion. It does not, correlate to the masses, to the entire population. We always say, well, popular opinion says this. That's exactly what it is, his personal opinion. It's not really, what the world sees or what the world views. They don't view it the same way he does. He's basically just getting on there giving his opinion, and people get mad at him for his opinion.
That's what everybody do. That's everybody, unless it's backed by science and research, with some of his stuff has been backed by science and research and numbers. It's an opinion.
Okay, so that's the only thing that I kind of dislike about his show. It's like people go on there and they dog him and dog him and dog him, but they steady watch him. They steady get mad at him, but it's his opinion. It is what it is. I just don't like the fact that he throw his opinion out there. Maybe so. I don't like the fact that people grasp onto it and get mad. It's not him personally. It's the fact that how people react to it. Huh?
Those individuals are unhappy. Those individuals are they're unhappy, and they just need something to be mad at. That's basically how I look at it. That's just like how these people became relationship gurus. Ain't now one of these motherfuckers went to school for none of this shit.
No, self-proclaimed.
They probably just read a book or they talk to their homeboy and say, "Hey, dog, you need to do this," and their homeboy like, "Hey, man, that's some good advice. You need to do a podcast." Bam.
Okay. Anthony, you care to put your 2 cents in because you kind of quiet. You usually have a lot to say.
Oh no, I'm
he was putting on cocoa butter.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. No, I hear it. I mean, I got my own. Everything seems to be based on how many zeros and commas you got in your bank account. And as me being single, that's what I look at it, because it's just like we all, like you said, we all have our mindset on what it is that an individual brings to the table. I work, like I told somebody right now, and I'm completely happy with this. This is the first time in my life I've only had one job, and it's given me, personally, I'm grateful for that because it's given me a chance to actually rest my body. I referee basketball and football, and football keeps me busy, and I'm running up and down the field all from Friday night to Sunday night. I referee maybe anywhere between 18 to 20 games a weekend from Friday to Sunday night. So my body's not hurting. And I've lost a lot of money because of the whole COVID situation. But yeah, I've had the chance to rest my body, spend more time with my kids, and pick up new hobbies that are making me money. So I don't have to depend on a lot of things. And me, me particularly, when I say, and I'm mentioning depending, is I don't have to. I'm not that I have, but I don't have to depend on a woman. So what you bring to the table as far as finances, I can care less about, because I'm gonna go out and get my own. I'm not gonna wait on nobody. And if you looking at what I can do for you financially, that to me it says that you're not capable. So I shouldn't have to match you dollar for dollar or whatever it is in cents. That's how I feel. If I got to match you dollar for dollar, I feel that relationship is built on the value in my work, according to B of A, Chase, and Wells Fargo. So if you're going to be with me the same reason I'm being with you, because you're the person I care about. You're the person I love. And no matter what we want to do as a family, as a, whatever it is, okay, well, this is the plan. I'm gonna work X amount of hours, and we're gonna take this money and put it into this account. You're gonna take your money and put it into this account. Or if it's not gonna be, as they use the term, Dutch, okay, we're gonna do this, but I understand there's a sacrifice. If you want me to do this, I'm not gonna be as readily available to you as you would like me to, because I'm going to be working for our trip. There's many things that I could see wrong, but like these self-proclaimed gurus that we've deemed them, it's it's just listening to what people have to say and bringing it to a culmination of, okay, I got all this information, now let me put it back out there. Like Mr. Jaxson, he's reinvented the wheel. I think what's the messed up part about him is that he's taking upon himself to portray him as this. And when we know Lil Duval came up with that was it Lil Duval? They came up with the black men don't cheat, and you're wearing that shirt. Advertising is along with what you're talking about. But you're a hypocrite. For a person like myself, I follow Derrick Jaxson, and I've watched many of his broadcasts. And some of the things I agree with, but I don't agree because you're bashing, because you're not, you wanted to make it seem like you've never done it. But I also, because of my upbringing, I think about the story of, I forget the lady name. They brought the lady to Jesus, and Jesus said, well, whoever's without sin, go ahead and be the first one to cast a stone. And they all left. So I say that to say, a lot of us are like, ha, 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 because we told you. And then a lot of us are like, dang, he provided us hope for people. Like, I think, like Honey said, it was a black man who was portraying the value his black wife. And that is one of the things I feel like as a culture, as a color, that we are the most self-inflicting race on this planet, where we do things to each other and be like, oh well, it's not fair. And it's like, we gotta start looking back at ourselves and say, you know what, this is what I did wrong, and I'm gonna fix me. And I for one, when I heard his apology, I didn't get that from him. I looked at it as a script. This is what we're going to do. Once again, the opportunity. Okay, I got caught. This is what's happening, and this is what.
That's exactly what it was.
Yeah, and is to me is BS because me personally, hypothetically say me and you, honey, we together, and I did you dirty. I don't care about what Mr. Randolph and what Miss Bates got to say or think. I don't have to get on national TV or national worldwide web and explain this to people. You know,
Right.
me, I'm gonna value my marriage like I did when I was married. I did value. I can say I turned down plenty of women and said, nope, I got a wife at home that I'm happy with, and I'm not trying to mess that up. Then it got to I got a wife
Right.
and I got a kid at home. I'm not about to mess that up because they mean a lot to me. And I wouldn't
Okay,
do
so
anything.
I'm
quick
gonna cheat
question.
on you, by the way.
Huh?
So quick question, because in that you mentioned and you said you happy because you have a wife at home, you had a kid at home. If you wasn't happy,
hmm
would that been your path for you to step out?
Okay,
Yeah, he
so
gonna cheat.
this is my thing. I would not. And the reason I would not is because for me, what I know of marriage from watching my parents, watching my best friends, their parents, we understand that that is a divine union. And I don't want to mess that up with God. It says any man that has a wife is a blessed man. And that's where I stand. I want to stay blessed. And I don't want anything to mess that up. I don't want anybody, like, I'm not saying I'm not perfect. And sometimes, like, now, I kid you not, there's one person that I turned away when I was married. And if I knew my marriage was going to end the way that it did, I was like, man, I would have done that. But yet, I did. I valued my marriage, you know. But it's just it's the human side of me, you know. And I think that's what we all kind of forget about Derrick Jaxson. We have to remember he's human, but also Mr. Jackson, you have to
Mm-hmm.
remember you did all you said. You bash niggas, you bash the brothers out here, like you
Yes,
were
he did.
without sin. Like I can, and with the way Jeremy Holloway's doing them, I want to hit Jeremy Holloway and be like, yo, put me in one of these little things. Cause yeah, bro, you gave us you made us look like dirt. And you probably turned other people to the other side as far as interracial dating. Because it's like, you know what? Let me go do this. And because a woman ran into one bad apple, don't mean we all jacked up. I'm a good dude, you know, and
I just
I'm
thought about
always
something.
what's up?
About it just dawned on me. Wasn't it a rumor like a long time ago when he first came out that he was married to a white chick?
I don't know because they just leaked the picture of him in college playing football, and the girl in the
Yeah, I
picture
saw
is
that
his
one.
wife. So I'm like
Woo!
you too. Like I remember something vaguely like there was a white chick in the picture.
Cause
Yeah, yeah.
them football stats was pretty bad. His football stats was
Hey,
trash.
all them zeros. I wish they was at the end of my $2 in my bank account.
No,
Who
not
said
the
he
last
played?
$2.
Yeah, yeah.
his
He played.
his football stats were trash.
No,
Oh,
correct. Hey, Black Sheep, correct that. He didn't have no stats.
Yeah,
Hey,
it was.
I read somebody in the comments said at least he was on the team.
He could have been the water
Hell
boy and
nah.
had more marks on his stats if he was the water boy.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was trash.
but yeah, it's cool. Like I mean, at the end of the day, to each his own. It's somebody for all of us out here, and it's just a matter of patience.
Do you really
That's what
believe
I
that?
think.
You
Yeah,
really believe that there's
I'm.
somebody for everybody?
I'm gonna tell you why I believe this. Because one night, this is after my divorce, I'm driving down the street and I'm all upset, and I see two special needs people on the bus. She's sitting in the
Goodbye.
lap of him.
Nope.
Like,
Nope.
no,
Nope.
let me finish. No,
Nope.
no, you come on. I got to
I'm
talking to
not
you.
I'm not
No,
gonna do this with
okay,
you tonight. Nah, just cut that story.
okay.
Tomorrow's Sunday. I'm not fooling with you.
But right
Uh,
now it's Saturday.
But tomorrow's Sunday.
But okay, since you heard that, but at the end of the part, when I saw them, I knew it was still hope for me because like I said, I'm a good dude. I know how to take care of home. You know,
Okay,
as
cool
I
business.
put it. Huh?
Okay, cool business. Cool business. I got you. Okay. So let me ask this question. Because Daryl must have forgot his question he was finna go in with before we actually hit live. But I'm asking this question.
The fullness kicking in with him.
What is the
Fucking
difference?
right.
What's the difference between Derrick Jaxson and a pastor on Sunday morning?
The title.
You took my thunder. I was coming for that. Ooh, we all coming for that.
It's the title.
You gotta come with it.
I feel that it's the title. If we following Pastor Keon and he telling us don't do this, do that. If you do this, you're gonna go to hell. But you doing the same things that we're not doing. That you telling us.
First of all, the devil made him do that. Okay, so y'all, the devil made him do that, and that's what that man, pastor wife, keeps saying every time he fuck all these hoes and come back, and she be going hard for him to paint for him, publicly, because the devil made him do that shit. So
because
I seen these memes that said if cheating and don't laugh. See, don't laugh. You seen these memes that if the devil made me do it was a person, and they got Derrick Jaxson picture of it.
They have his picture.
Yeah.
But Derrick is allegedly gave his life to Christ.
Who?
Derrick Jaxson allegedly gave his life to Christ. I think they said it was around February. He gave his life to Christ. So
that man didn't give his life to Christ.
Hey. All right, stick it out. All right, here I come. So first, like this, and this is where me and religion, we go our separate ways. I can deal with an individual who is doing that, gets caught, and say, "Hey, I made a mistake. I'm not perfect. Blah 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 blah." And keep moving. And say, "I need to work on myself." Blah 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 blah. Because I can look at it like, okay, he's in the same situation that I'm in. First of all, I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to follow no man. You the pastor, but if you tell me to give you $1,000, I'm going to look at you like you smoking crack. But that's what I was saying. Then I could look at him like, okay, we're going through this.
You muted yourself.
Oh, that's what I get for touching shit. I can rock with you because we're on the same journey. Now, the difference between Dexter and a pastor is nothing. It's nothing. It's the same thing. A pastor, the pulpit pimping, is the same thing that Dexter Jaxson is doing. He sees a need. He sees there's a need for something, and he's praying on it. Same thing with a pastor. A church is supposed to be a fellowship for individuals who feel lost, who are trying to make themselves better, but you have individuals that are capitalizing on that because they see that need. That's just like a pimp back in the day. All right, dudes out there weren't getting none, so they had hoes out there doing a thing, feeling the need. So my thoughts on that is they're the same. It's the same thing. They both had their following. They both had their congregation believing every word they said come out their mouth instead of looking at themselves and listening for things that help them better themselves. And that goes back to something we said earlier. I think that was lost, had low self-esteem, felt like they didn't have nothing else to lose. Or nothing else to lose. So yeah, I keep going, brother.
Okay. Miss Daniels, what you got?
About what?
the difference between Derrick Jaxson and a pastor?
I'm gonna go with cocoa butter. It's just a title. I don't see a difference.
Okay, so normally pastors are men of the cloth. They are
wait.
selected
When
by
I say
God to be
girl,
of a higher standard.
don't play with us tonight. Don't do that.
I'm just saying.
Don't
Come
do
on.
that.
I think most of us have gone to church and been in church and know that a minister or a pastor is supposed to be. They say they are called by God.
They're human, and humans
They
fuck
are.
up, and humans lie.
They are.
And humans can be opportunists. There's no difference between Derrick Jaxson and what's the Bishop John, whoever is the cheating, the habitual cheater. Him. There's no difference between those two people.
John Gray.
Just one has a church title and the other one doesn't. There's no difference.
Okay.
Here's the thing
Derrick
that's
Jaxson
funny.
been cheating before, so is that pastor.
Here's the thing when it comes to religion, since we're gonna go there. We're gonna go there. It even states in the Bible that nobody's perfect. Every disciple that God chose had issues. So why would a pastor of a church think he's? To me, it's like when you portray a sort of face that I'm without sin or I'm without fault. You're saying that you are better than, you have a better selection process than God Himself, the person who ordains you. And yeah, but I know we getting way off topic because we talking about relationship.
Let me say this though. Let me say this real quick. As far as the hype behind people, being mad at Derrick Jaxson, and the hype between the people being pissed off at the pastor for cheating, and both of them being habitual. I keep hearing, or my thoughts were, you go to church and you listen to the word that the pastor preaches, his interpretation of the Bible that he's giving you so you can understand. You don't go to church to mimic this man's everyday life. That's not reason. That's not why you go to church. But they hold, and pastors do too, hold themselves at a high regard. And people in the congregation hold them in such high regard, then get mad when they do human things, when they fuck up, when they cheat, when they lie, when they get caught, all this stuff like this. If you're gonna go to church and listen to the word. You ain't got to remember what the pastor doing in his life. The first thing they say, one without sin, cast first stone. This man is human. He gonna lie, cheat, steal, whatever he gonna do too. Forgive him and move the fuck on. That doesn't deny that the words that he been preaching all the time were right, or giving you some positivity in your life. That's what I want to say about the pastor. I mean, he human. I don't think it should be any more negative life on the pastors that do it than a Derrick Jaxson that do it. That's all I want to say about that part.
Okay.
Yes, cocoa butter.
Oh no, you hit it. You covered it. That's why I just raised my hand. But then as soon as I raised my hand, you made my point. Like I don't know. Like I feel that there shouldn't, and I know I'm going off topic, but touch on what you said. For me, this is my problem with church. I don't need a man or a woman to be politically correct to tell me what it is that God has provided for me. I've never dealt with a middleman. That's just me. I don't like dealing with a middleman. So my relationship, because it says God wants to have a relationship with me. So why do I need Pastor Kennedy to tell me about what's going on in the book? I'm gonna go read it myself. I'll go talk to my dad. I'll go talk to my grandfather. But I don't have to go to Bishop Don Juan's church every Sunday to get a message that is, in my mind, tainted. Because it's like, even though it is a title that they went to school to go get, hey, Benny, all right, in yourself, it's a title that, yes, black sheep.
Everybody don't go to school for that.
And you're right, we getting way far off, and that could be a whole nother topic for a whole nother day.
Yeah. It really would be for real.
Hey, write that down. Write that down.
Yeah, got that
on your book. To school to be a pastor, because you know what, I'm a minister, and I went online and got both of mine, and I know it's a whole lot of people in IM that got theirs too. So you ain't gotta go.
That was so high he can't even remember when he got his license. So
yeah. So I mean, hey, I know some folks ain't went to school. I know some folks that signed up for this alleged school, never went and graduated. So everybody don't go to school. You can become an online minister. Don't make me shout out the people in the group that got one with me, because a lot of us did it together. So
I have mine.
Are you for real?
I got like 3 deep. If I do a post in IM and say where are all the ministers at, I'm Francine, Ebony, Kevin. I think Kevin just sent me something talking about he got his 30-day anniversary. It's a whole lot of us. I ain't gonna lie to you. But depending on what you do, it could be a side hustle, because you having that paper, you're able to do marriages.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't go to church, and it's a lot of people that don't want to go to church and don't want to go through that marriage counseling that a lot of people are requiring right now.
I'm glad you said that, because like, since we're talking about relationships and relationship gurus and all that shit, why is it that people rather listen to somebody like that on how to build a relationship and be in a relationship versus actually going to get counseling from somebody to actually benefit from getting to know their partner, getting to understand their partner? Hell, get to understand themselves. I know I'm crazy as shit. So shit. Wow. Took a whole bunch of counseling to figure that out, but I did it. I know people worse than me.
I think Black people, just speaking about our community, you know,
watch your mouth now.
First of all, we don't go to therapy. We don't go to therapy for shit. Number one, it's so taboo. And then when we do go, it is more so like a requirement to get married. Is marriage counseling. I think we need to normalize relationship counseling first self counseling to fix your personal problems. Then when you get in a relationship, then when you get in a relationship, you come clear-minded, knowing what you want, what you will and won't put up with. That way you can set the bar for your standards, and you won't have women that's latching on to these online self-proclaimed relationship gurus.
Well, hallelujah. Won't he do it?
Hey, his elbows is nice and shiny.
Hold on, let me pass around this collection plate.
I do agree with you. Because I regularly go to therapy. Like I preach about that all the time. Like, yo, you gotta go. Like, just do it.
And I'm with that. And we definitely, because me and Derrick have talked before about, we will have an episode on mental health. That is a given in therapy, because there's so many things in the Black community that are taboo that you're just not supposed to speak about. Like things that the elders were not cool with talking about what's going on in your household. When something wrong with cousin in the back that they keep in the back room locked up because he need help versus getting help, we gonna lock him up. Like there's so many.
Or rape. When you have a pedophilia in your family, you know the motherfucker is touching, your other family members, but instead of turning his in, whooping his ass, you want to put, hushing and pushing on the rug.
Can I take a 30-second time out real quick?
Not salt on that. I was trying to put sugar, not salt on that. When I was like,
he said he wants to do a 30-second time out.
I need a 30-second time out real quick.
Okay.
I got a question for Brother Randolph. I'm kind of off topic, but I got a question for you. What type of shea butter do you use?
I'm done. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna lock the fuck up.
because his elbows are impressive.
You know what?
Yeah.
You could have asked this in the goddamn on group.
No,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. But
Really?
my phone about to die, so I got to get up. I'm not at home.
Oh,
Where your
shit! I
charger?
I ain't
forgot.
gonna
You
talk
know,
about it. Okay. I
I
ain't gonna
forgot where
talk
I got
about
it
it.
from.
What kind of black person, travels without a charger?
Let's talk about
Look,
that.
I didn't
Hey,
plan on leaving.
I'll send you where I get it from. It's scented too. Like they put different
Ooh.
colognes and like oils and stuff in there. So I got
Oh,
one that's
okay.
like Savage, one that's
Oh,
Gucci, and then
okay.
I forgot. Yeah.
That's
So
what I'm
I'll send
talking about. Because I done been nicknamed Cocoa Butter and Shea Butter, and so I
You
like
cocoa butter.
skincare stuff.
Yeah, you're cocoa
Very
butter.
shea
He's
butter.
shea butter.
I know we off topic right now, but how I got started is my first deployment, and that water in Iraq was so damn hard. Like it was redundant. Like it was my face was cracking and shit. That's how dry it was. So I started, and I go through damn lotion like it was going out of style. So a female friend of mine gave me a little small bottle, like, hey, try this shea butter. I'm like, what you have me around here? Shit you cook with, walk around with crystal on my face. I started using it more and more. I was like, yeah, okay. And ever since then, I've been hooked on shea butter. And then I used to go online to this little African joint that did it in bulk. So they'll send you like a 10-pound brick. Yeah, like a 10-pound brick for like $30, like that. So
hold you down for the year.
Huh?
And I said it'll hold you down for the year, huh?
Yeah. I literally the last brick I brought was in San Antonio, and right before I came out here to Korea, I had finished it. I just
You've
finished
been gone from San Antonio for what, 6 or 7 years?
Exactly. And not only me, but my son been using it too. And then so a friend of mine got me hooked on it, the scented kind now. And it's just like you put on shea butter with cologne in it, and it stays like that scent.
Thank you. I like. Okay, what that mean? Oh, time is up. Oh,
Nah, I was messing with honey. Honey.
Okay. All right. So let's get back into the game. 30-second timeout done.
Okay. All right. So anybody got anything else? Well, but one question I want to ask. Do y'all think that the reason that so many go to hang on to the words of gurus and everything is because we have little knowledge on relationships and love?
I think it's validation. Like they've thought it, and to hear somebody that's respected say it, it's like, oh, that's my validation right there, and they're gonna live by it. And now they're tuning in to everything they have to say to see if they validate other stuff. Like I got ideas. I'm gonna tell you about this idea for my restaurant, and I'm like, man, this is something I'm gonna do. But then when I watch that, which is another thing you want to talk about therapy, watch I Am Athlete on YouTube with Brandon Marshall.
That's my shit.
Yeah,
that's my shit.
When I heard Cam Newton preach on he's opened that restaurant, I'm like, dude, that's my idea. I have no choice now but to do it. So it's working. You just got to know how to do. But when you see these people that you admire, you look up to, that's your validation. You hang on to that. Like I can go on and on about stuff that's in my head that I don't want to take to my grave. So I've already written it down. I have 3 business what am I trying to say? Proposals that are written out. So if anything does happen, when my son gets old enough, he can take it like, look, this is what I'm gonna do according to my dad. All this stuff is written out, a business plan. So it's just, I think the main thing for them is validation. It is for some of them is the pedestal that you put them on. So you put these people on so that they can they're looking like, you know what, like these women that are upset with or hurt by Derrick Jaxson, we had you here and you failed us. So it's pedestal validation. That's what I look at.
Okay.
I agree. I agree. I think that's what 9 times out of 10, and I hate to put it like this. Anybody that has any type of influence, yeah, that's what I can use. Influence on people is because they validate something that somebody else. That's just like that's anything from going to church all the way to relationships, and that's why folks hang on to these individuals because of that. Because they say they see it as in, oh, I'm feeling this way, and he explained why I'm feeling this way, or he is justifying that it's okay to feel that way. And it's not a knock on until it becomes weaponized. Weaponize it for monetary gain, and then it's that's when it gets dangerous because now not only are you messing with their lives, but you mess with your life because if somebody, God forbid, somebody takes this really, really serious, and now they don't fuck up their life, and they turn around and start looking at you like, okay, you caused why I fucked up my life. Hence, all these shootings and stuff going on.
Mm-hmm.
I concur. Okay, I can definitely see that. A lot of times we put because stuff is relatable, and you like, oh man, yeah, I remember I went through that. It's like not feeling like you're not alone in whatever situation it is. So it's easy for you to go back to that person because they're speaking, speaking words that you can relate to, a situation that you can relate to. Right. I think we all could say that dating, relationships, love is not an easy area in life at all.
And it's not one dimensional.
And I'm glad you said that too. And I was like, that's the thing that's interesting about like relationship gurus and everything. If you really just sit down and talk with somebody, you can figure out a lot of the shit that these people are saying. You can figure out what you like, what you don't like. You can figure out why you're feeling this way and all this shit. If you just talk to somebody, and instead of getting in that bitches ain't shit, hoes ain't shit, dudes ain't shit group, and all you do is spit anger at each other, and versus sitting down like, yo, like I always say, that's probably why I don't have a lot of friends right now, is because I'm always saying, like, when they start talking, man, hoes ain't shit, I'm like, hold on, who's the common denominator in that? What are you doing?
Right.
Like, and then the flip side of that is, like, you keep saying that, but you keep picking them. Maybe you need to go to a different grocery store.
I think Derrick Jaxson gave these women, he kind of basically crippled them because a lot of and I'm just going off again, a little bit that I've watched. I think he made them enablers because there was no type of accountability on their part. Like you said, who is the common denominator? Why do you still keep dealing with and attracting the same type of man? It's almost like a pattern. Women don't like to see red flags. It's like they have their rose-colored glasses on, and this man is basically telling you what you want to hear based on all the stuff you done been through within these relationships. But what he's not doing is making you look at yourself. He's literally just telling them what they want to hear and blaming the dude. That's why all the dudes were so pissed off at him. If you're gonna put yourself on a platform, be equal. Make these women take accountability.
Same thing with Steve Harvey. That's why everybody was pissed off with Steve Harvey, because he was like, "Hey, you doing this?" The same thing with Kevin. Some of the shit he do is like he doing the same thing. But like I said, if everybody just sit down and talk and be like, "Yo, this is what I'm thinking," instead of getting that clique that agree with everything, find somebody that's gonna challenge you. Like, find that friend that's gonna call you on your shit versus, girl, you right, you so right, you gonna do that, you gonna do such and such, and you need to do this. I want to be like, hold on, Charlie, well, what have you done? Like, what are you doing? Like, what you bring to the table, what you got going on? And then I think, and back to the part about the Black community, we don't do that. And we have gotten so indoctrinated, so brainwashed and on some bullshit about it's us against them. is niggas versus bitches that is hard for us to discern or see when you got something good. Because you looking for that, oh, they finna fuck up. Oh, she finna do this, she finna do that. Or, oh, he finna do that. Oh, he hanging with his homeboy. Oh, he out there fucking these other bitches. And he could be out there chilling with his homeboys just like...
They'll fuck up something good because they're not used to it.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
And why? And then that goes back to the question of why.
Because they're not used to it. If you used to eating...
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Why are they not used to it? Like, it's not... This is not something where you wake up in one morning like, damn, I'm not used to this. No, it's over time. Like, because you learn what you're not... It
kind of be like that. It kind of be.
No, it's a learned behavior. It's a learned behavior. It's a learned behavior. And now that I'm thinking about it now, it has a lot to do with social. I say part of it is social media, part of it is upbringing. Because let's be real. What they say the stat was like 75% of black families are single parent homes, stuff like that. So we really haven't seen a true functional and positive relationship. And then if you get the angry,
I've seen positive relationships my whole life.
I mean, I can say that too. I've seen positive relationships. They may not have been in the home, but my grandmother and they're deceased now, great grandmother and great grandfather were married 50 plus years. Like
that
they went
count.
down with
that
the
don't
ship.
count right there.
Definitely like with it.
And that's what I'm saying.
And that's positive relationship that I saw. Granted, like I clearly said at first, I didn't see it in my home. But that was a relationship that I saw from childhood to growing up till literally till death did them part, because that really was what it was. So, and that was something that positive that I've seen. But that was my grandparents.
I'm saying that don't count because of the world's thought process, back then. I mean, if you even bring it further, look at the 1970s. Take Betty Wright, for example. Her statements were, I'd rather have a piece of man than have no man at all.
Yeah, no.
Exactly. No. So that's what I'm saying. I can't go with, look at my grandparents or great grandparents because it was a different time, a different thought process than that. The reason I was saying to Derrick is like I've seen positive, and you're right, your upbringing has a lot to do with it, but I think social media plays a much bigger part, in it nowadays than your upbringing. Social media will have you thinking people are out your league, not in your caliber. That's not the caliber of person. Because what do people post, especially women and some men? They post pictures of themselves all day with filters. All day. They post pictures of them being on, acting like they on vacation or being on vacation all the time. Meanwhile, they house in foreclosure. They car just got repossessed, but it's basically giving them a show.
It's a front. Yeah.
All right.
It's a front. And like somebody said a while back when social media first came out, started getting big, like with Facebook and everything, and folks would be like, oh, they living their best life. I said, that's just a snapshot. That's a moment in time. That's not the whole picture. You're just getting a snap of what's going on. And so, it's crazy.
Can y'all see me?
We see your hand.
I see your hand. Like this.
There you go. There your big head self go. All right.
Shut up.
Yay.
I know. I just kind of like left
I honestly think that as far as us as a community, we need to.
Did you hit your mute? Because you got quiet, or is it your internet? Yeah, there you go. We heard the me, because you faded out right there for a minute. You got quiet.
Cause shit, I'm in Korea, man. I'm no telling.
I know you. Y'all got that crackerjack internet over there.
Shit, I forgot what I was saying. Oh, nah, we just like as a community, we just need to talk more, like, and like discuss, not argue, be able to discuss and talk about, and don't be afraid to. And that's one thing too. I had to learn being in the military, and I'm still learning. We cannot be afraid to not show our feelings and our emotions, because that's one of the things that's killing us. Before we got cancer and all that other stuff, cancer, high blood pressure, shit. You can't be afraid to do that, like,
because we hold a lot in.
You're right.
We hold a lot in because we either don't want to hurt people's feelings, scared that you're gonna lose somebody. So, or depending where you are, might be your job. So we hold a lot in, and then that's where them health problems come in and all the other issues.
We don't have a release. So you wake up in the morning talking about, I hate this fucking job, and somebody piss you off, or they getting on my nerves, and and then so it's just like a cup. You pour it in today, pour a little bit in today, a little bit in tomorrow, a little bit in the next day, following day. In a week, your cup full, and you still don't have nowhere to pour out. Huh?
There was something circulating on social media where this guy made the comment that, he don't ever show his emotion to his wife or tell, his wife how he doing, mentally or emotionally, because that's not what men do.
And that's part of the problem.
And that goes back to the black stigma of a man is supposed to be a man, and he's not supposed to divulge how he feels, or that black woman is supposed to be a strong woman.
Well, let me tell you, this is an analogy somebody told me when I was dealing with my emotions. And that's why I got the nickname Hope, because it gets to a point where I'll get so frustrated and angry, I'll just lash out. And when I lash out, it was nothing nice. I done threw people through windows, through doors, kicked in doors, all kinds of shit. So the analogy the guy used when we were talking about it is, he said, as a man, we are programmed to be the warrior. It's just in our body to be the warrior. So when we prepare for our day, we are literally preparing for war, preparing to battle whatever this world has for us. Take off all that armor, take off all that stuff that we got on from battle, and be vulnerable with our mates or with whoever we're with. The problem is that we have been so indoctrinated that if a man or the head of the household shows weakness, then they're not fit to be the head of the household. If a person shows that they are vulnerable, that's something that can be used against them at a later date. And we have been so indoctrinated to behind this facade, behind this, I'm straight, knowing damn well you like a little 5-year-old kid inside crying. Outside, you got that straight face like, nah, I'm good. And it's, like I said, the only thing it's doing is killing us literally and figuratively. It's killing us, one, because, like I said, our health and everything, and two, we're becoming so detached from reality, so detached from what it is to be in communion with people, that it makes it easy for us to fall for relationship guru, because that is our that is our outlet. They're saying what we feel on the inside. They're saying what our women feel on the inside. Like, and it's like sometimes with Kevin, a lot of the stuff that he says is bullshit, but a lot of dudes grab onto it because that's what they're saying on the inside. That's how they're feeling on the inside. That anger toward a woman is how they feel on the inside. It's not about the message, it's about the feeling, the delivery. So, and I think until we deal with that, we're gonna continuously have these folks pop up. Oh, if you do this, if your man don't do this, then he ain't shit. Or if your girl saying this, and this, she ain't shit. You're gonna continue to have this spiral, that circle, and rift between the black man and the black woman.
Crackerjack internet.
Rewind
that because we did not hear what you said. But it looked like it was good.
No, I was saying it made me think like it seemed like we are the only ethnicity that is doing that. That's what it seemed like because being here, I'm seeing a lot of the roles in the household being defined, and it's defined to the point where it's even in the workplace. Like you may have an elderly woman with a young man, but because of their culture, the man has the dominance, and so she will still bow down to that man. And I'm just like, that's interesting. It's crazy like that.
Wait, physically bow?
Who said bow?
No,
okay.
No.
Okay. I'm just making sure.
Like that. I'm talking about like step back.
Figuratively, yeah. So are you saying that we don't do that in the black community? Is that what you're saying?
It's like a battle between. I mean, it seems like it's a battle between between man and woman. Like who have instead of working together and coming together and trying to figure out, all right, how do we maneuver through this world, which everybody don't like us. Like my personal opinion, I think we're a fetish for people who interracial date. But instead of figuring out how we as a couple, relationship, as a community move together, it's always the whole thing is this whole thing shit. I mean, we made songs about it. So it's like we're fighting each other amongst fighting everybody else. Instead of just being like,
okay, so where does the whole analogy about how they live there correlate to us not in our community?
Because I don't see it in our community like that. As far as that's what I'm saying. It's like I see like we, from what I'm seeing, we are the only ones where we fight. We fight each other.
So the woman fights the man basically and won't let him lead. Is that what you're saying?
Not just lead, just like, okay, a woman won't allow a man to be vulnerable, and if a man is vulnerable, the woman thinks he's weak. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see that.
Like something like So like I said, and what I meant by the culture here is like they allow that man to be the leader.
First of all, women in America don't know what the fuck they want, especially black women. They don't know what they want. You know, they want a man, they stay on paper, they want a man to be sensitive and understanding, and you know, but when you get a man that's emotional, that's, you know, mentally stable, you know, and understands who he is and what he wants, they look at that as being a punk. Oh, I don't want him to be too soft. But you just said you wanted somebody that was sensitive. Now you got somebody that's sensitive. That's what you want.
From society though. Society has said that. Like society has given us this. These are the parameters that we want as a black community, which is interesting. And a man has to be strong. Like, cause think about it. Growing up, what do they always say? Boys don't cry.
Yep, the boy don't cry. Shut that up. Dry that up. Boys don't cry. Oh, you gotta be tough.
My baby cry.
Huh?
My baby cry.
Mine do
because,
too.
No, because you understand. You understand that dynamic, but growing up, that's all you heard.
My dad told me that too, growing up. Boys don't cry. And I'd be like, Pops, I'm not a boy.
But
even, like stuff like that.
Even still, even as me being a female, my mother was like that. She was like, what you crying for? Like, you wasn't supposed to cry. I don't give a damn what even damn near to an ass whooping. You got to think back. You getting your ass, just got your ass whooped.
I didn't get whooped. I'm sorry.
And they telling you to shut that shit up and dry that up. They don't want to hear that. Shit, you just whooped like 3 layers of skin off of me. Like, what I'm supposed to do? Shit.
If we're gonna go there, we can go back to
I can't correlate with that. I don't have any type of background information about being beaten as a child. I didn't get whoopings. I was a perfect child. So.
No.
Yes.
We're gonna go ahead and
I didn't get whoopings. I'm sorry, I didn't get whoopings, but
okay.
I was like the ideal child. You get if you read like textbook, you read out of a textbook. Like I was like, so I didn't get whoopings. That was sorry.
So now we know what happened.
What? That's why I'm like the awesomest person today, because I didn't get whoopings. I don't believe in all that. I didn't. I asked mom, did I get whoopings? Nah. You wasn't a bad child.
I've been on that call before.
So I cannot relate to that. I can understand it because I've seen it, but I can't personally relate to, just being beaten as a child and then telling them shut up and don't, but I did get don't cry. My dad would say like the whole verbiage, boys don't cry. And I'm just, to this day, I'm not a boy. I look like one, I dress like one, but I'm not a boy. And maybe that's why I don't cry. I really don't show a whole lot of emotion.
And that's what I'm saying. And we get that. We were told not to show emotion. And I get it, because back in slavery times, if you showed emotion, that meant life or death or something like that. So it just came through the generation after generation. But when are we gonna be like, enough is enough is enough, and really start looking at us as a people and start taking care of ourselves inside and out? And then it goes back to what I said earlier, like that will help prevent individuals from getting caught up with the relationship gurus who are just preying on the fact that folks are lost and they're looking for answers, and they just give them that answers, saying what they want to hear versus telling them what they need to hear.
Mm-hmm.
True that. I can definitely agree with that. I definitely can agree with that. So that's what's up. So we have been on here like an hour and 17 minutes. And it's all good, but we keep veering off into some other topics a little bit that I definitely want to hit, because I want to go there. Like real talk. In these lives, I want to go there, because it's all about what I've learned working on myself over the last year or whatever. There's so much dysfunction in life because of things that have not been spoken. Them little secrets that was pushed in the closet, in the back of the closet, and you find them later. Like there's so much dysfunction. That's a lot where a lot of the anger comes from towards people, grudges, and it causes that's when it starts causing health issues and everything, because it's like, well, we don't talk about that. If you ask a question, they're going to cut you off because they don't want to talk about it. But then it comes out with somebody on the end. And that's normally when somebody's sick and on their deathbed. And then they want to start spilling the damn beans. And it's like, well, if you could have told me this when I asked you 10 years ago, I could possibly be in a better place, because I could have started my healing already. I had those answers. So right now, and I'm going to be truthfully honest, that's where I am. I'm trying to uncover the things that's not spoken about, and mental health and these family secrets and all this other stuff. That's where a lot of that crap lies at. But you can't heal unless you dig that stuff up. It may not feel good. It definitely may not feel good, but it's necessary. And I think that's a big chunk of holding us, even as Black people, back, because it's a lot of unhealed Black people.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to put that in the not just that, it's like you gotta think about it too. Like for our generation, we had the fucking crack epidemic. Like think about it. Like look at the history of the United States. When has something like that ever happened outside of that time? Never. Yeah. It has impacted generations. Yeah. Of Black people. The crack epidemic.
See, that's another topic. I need y'all to be writing these topics down. If we keep straying, man. Write these topics down, man.
Yeah, because
it's part of the relationship joint, and that's what I'm finna tie it into. Like,
okay, go ahead.
That's what I'm finna say. Because like, if you look at the crack epidemic, it broke up families. It broke up like families. Like fathers went to jail because they were trying to take care of their family by selling crack. You know what I'm saying? So as you move forward, you don't get to see the dynamic of a mother and a father. Now you got the mother being the mother and the father. She's upset because of everything that's going on. So she's acting out. So now you are looking at her as a role model as far as how, well, either the type of woman you want to be or the type of woman that you're going to get. And 9 out of 10, it's like, oh, my mama was strong. She did all this for us and da-da-da-da-da. Or my daddy was a dope boy and blah, blah, blah. Or my mama was a trick or whatever. And so that's the type of people that they look for. So now you already have a skewed view on relationship. And then add into the piece of every time you turn on the TV, what you see?
White people.
No, hold on. You see us in the scandal. Some type of cheating scandal. You may see 1 or 2 white people in the cheating scandal, but it's quick. But like I say all the time, I am so thankful for Barack and Michelle. Because if he came out that he cheated on Michelle, they would still be talking about it right now.
Man.
They would probably have
Barack don't cheat.
And that's what I'm saying. They would probably have an anniversary episode for that.
My president don't cheat.
That's what I'm saying. So he gave us hope. But outside of that, that's all you see. That's all you get fed. That's all they're showing us. Real, what is it? Real, something of Atlanta, Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Oh, that mess.
You sound like a robot to me. Does he sound like a robot to you?
Okay. Yep, he started after a minute. He did.
Your internet probably.
I'm spitting facts. That's why I'm spitting the truth.
No, it's because y'all have a time limit on y'all internet over there, and your shit running out.
You might be telling the truth.
See, I know.
You might be telling the truth. They might be like, no, no, you might out.
Like that, like you hogging up the internet. Everybody else trying to use it.
Stop it, Mr. Brockman. But that's how I look. That's how I see it. Like this, if we're gonna do something, like now is the time, especially with this generation, because if it doesn't happen now, it's never gonna happen. And the reason why I say that is because a lot of our history, as far as Black people, like everything that we're talking about, is gonna get lost after we leave this earth. Because looking at the kids and looking at the kids like my son's generation, they haven't been exposed to the stuff that we have been exposed to. They haven't seen the stuff that we have seen. They haven't had to endure the stuff that we endured because we endured it and we said, I'm not going to let my child go through what I went through. I'm not going to allow my child to experience what I experienced. So they're not going to understand.
I knew he needed to reboot his internet. I was going to tell him I was technical support.
It be raggedy. It was gapping and fading out and stuff. Yeah. I think he hit that point. But nevertheless, we're going to go ahead and end out because we had one that his phone died and now his internet went cuckoo or whatever else. So we're going to end out. You got any closing remarks tonight?
Write them topics down so next week we can go ahead and, kind of, because we did a lot of straying tonight,
We did.
We kind of went left, went right, came back. I like to stay on topic. Sometimes when you're making a point, it does go left and right and brings it back to your point, but we went all over the place, so I say
cool. And I agree, first night, first run, and everybody's just like, oh, this connected to this, but this is connected to this. So we'll get our topics down and and probably get us some new victims for the next one and see who we can bring on, because I know I know I want to get Francine crazy behind on that.
Oh
That's
my God.
I got a couple of topics that Fran got a lot. Fran be on her stuff. Fran
put
got
me
some
on that
stuff.
one.
Fran got some stuff for your butt. And the mental health segment, I definitely want her on because of her involvement in the community and her having a lot of experience with dealing with folks on different levels. So there's a few. I think I'm gonna open the door kind of on certain topics to maybe some people, and I am on some stuff and pull some people definitely where they're comfortable and have some knowledge at. So I'm gonna do that. But like I said, it's good. It's all good. We're gonna make sure Derrick charge his internet because I know we talked before about him being on the mental health segment with what he does with his job and stuff. So that he just messaged me too, talking about, man, what happened? Yo, raggedy internet. But on that, I think on that one, I think that may be a bigger forum, and with what I've paid for, I think I can have 10 guests on here. So yeah, because I went ahead and paid for this service. So he has some more little unmedicated mentally, y'all. Most of y'all in the group mentally crazy.
Hey, I am probably the most sane person you know, actually. So
okay, so on that note, we're gonna go ahead and end the Chronicles of the Black Sheep for tonight. Thank you for anybody that viewed, and thank you for anybody that participated.
I'm gonna write them right. These are just facts. I'm sorry. These are complete facts. I got like scientific information to back all this. I'm saying, just this is not my opinion, people. These are straight facts I'm spitting.
Good night, folks.